So Adams has said that the crisis will destroy New York City. What do you make of that statement? Do you agree?
Oh, absolutely. You know what it is? He comes to the realization it's 1 year. 1 year since when he welcomed them. And then he realized, he opened up Pandora's box. He was trying to do the right thing. He felt as though we're a sanctuary city. We're open for everybody. Not in his wildest dreams did he ever imagine this influx. And the only way you can stop it is you've got to close the damn border down in the south and the north. And even if you have to put National Guard troops there, instead, the progressive wing, if we didn't take over the Congress, you know what they wanted to do with the money? And they would have voted it in? 85,000 IRS agents to investigate me and everybody else to see if you could pay more taxes. If you don't have a receipt, sorry, we can't allow that. We're not going to allow it. Instead of that 85,000 IRS agents, they should send those 85,000 and make them guards on our borders for our homeland security. This is so, and this Mayorkas should be impeached. He's a fool. Every one of Biden's cabinets are fools. Mayorkas, when you have the other guy in charge of transportation, he's another total fool. This is what we're living with, ineptitude. And when you have a business, I don't have an MBA. I don't have one of your big college degrees, but I know one thing. If you don't have the proper people running your business, you're going to go to the toilet. And we don't have the proper people running this country in the cabinet with the fool at the top, the CEO, the man who is brain dead that walks around and crashes into walls. And that's exactly, just watch him now and then. He sits on a beach. The guy's in comatose land while the place is burning. And, it's terrible. If you lived in Central America or in Africa and you get a call from your friend saying, hey, they're doing all this thing, free food, cell phones, motorized bikes, there's no law. There's no law. You can drive around with anything you want, motor, battery, no license plate, no license required, no insurance, just crash into people. This is what's going on. It's like when you walk on the street, my own son got rammed by one of these and his ACL was ruptured. And then all of a sudden my daughter says, did you get his name or his license? I said, Jacqueline license? His name is Julio Gonzalez from El Salvador. That is the name that they all give right now. I stopped a couple of guys. I said, well, where are you from? El Salvador. What's your name? Julio Gonzalez. That's the name that they use right now. And you can't make this up. This is the destruction of New York City and the destruction more so of this country. And if we don't now I'm calling out Senator from New York, head of the United States Senator, why don't you step up and let the Senate pass that bill that the House has now to close our borders? What's stopping you, Schumer? What is stopping you? You're destroying this city and you're destroying this country. And hey, Schumer, I know you're a long time. You don't care about it. Maybe if one of your children or your relatives become a victim, maybe you'll change. Maybe those plugs in your head will pop out. And I've been in the city. I'm 72 years old. I was a New York City cop and also a detective. I went through the turbulent 70s of crime soaring, and then the 80s with the murders, with 2,000 murders a year, crime all over the place. The problem today, we fought it. Cops were able to arrest people for these crimes. Today, what's happening is the cops are not even arresting anybody anymore because they don't want to get involved. What has happened, that officers who get involved with arresting people for committing crimes, all of a sudden they're being fired, they're being micromanaged, and they said like this, I'm not going to lose my pension. So what we have in New York City right now is a city under siege. I just drove by 50th Street, Lexington Avenue, an old hotel that was closed down is being reopened. They're stuffing all these migrants in any and every place they can. But this thing is going crazy. They're not even bidding on it. They're just handing out contracts and contracts. Right now, we're on line right now where we're probably going to have a $16 billion deficit for New York City. New York State, the controller said it'll be anywhere from 40 to 50 billion dollars. New York City is going to go bankrupt. New York State's going to go bankrupt. 500,000 people have left New York City, taxpayers, and went to Florida. So your tax income's not going to be coming in. They're going to be laying off cops, laying off firemen, and this thing is going to look real ugly. I went through the 1970s where we had a problem before we almost went bankrupt. This is worse because, as I said, the influx is there. And if they don't, the mayor should be with that governor. The governor went down to Washington to meet with with Biden. You know who she met with? I think she met with the janitor. Biden wouldn't even talk to her. She's the governor of the greatest state in this nation, and she didn't even get an audience with the president. Right now, the only way we can stop it is seal the border in the south and in the north and stop the migration right now.